Hey there, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Monday. And this is probably my last video while I'm here in Colorado. Moving to Norman, Oklahoma to begin graduate school at the end of July, so I'm going to be pretty busy up until then. But I guess from this video onwards, Norman will really be my focal point in terms of weather. So I guess that means we can focus more on Colorado weather today. Anyways, just current radar picture. Lots of showers and thunderstorms trapped underneath the ridge, which has really established itself over the western half of the country, and including here in Colorado. And then there's another shortwave trough that's bringing parts of Texas and the Texas coastal plain, quite a few showers and thunderstorms, and another little upper level low, which you can see here by this counterclockwise spin here across parts of the Great Lakes. And then your usual sea breeze showers and thunderstorms that we usually see in Florida during the warm season. But mainly just a heavy rain event down there. These storms across Colorado and Kansas, and I believe even into Mexico, did produce some large hail and maybe even some damaging winds, but really not much in the way of tornadoes today. And that's kind of what we usually see as we head deeper into the warm season into July and August. This is GOES 16 mid-level water vapor imagery, and I mean, this is just eye candy, just beautiful. It shows that upper level low nicely centered right over central Michigan. Then you can see really just blossoming showers and storms over the over Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, and even over southern Colorado and New Mexico, and also over the mountains in Mexico. But yeah, really just weak flow in general aloft, and you can see that if we go to the SBC mesoscale analysis. This is just the wrap. I mean, some stronger flow kind of across the lower, I guess the Ohio River Valley, but generally just pretty weak flow, which is common for this time of year. You know, we're pretty late into June and really lack of a temperature gradient until you get further north into Canada this time of year. Current surface observations here east of the Front Range. Temperature is mainly in the, I guess, low to mid 80s. I believe that's it's 87 degrees here at DIA with dew points in the 30s to 38 degree dew point. And you can see there's that kind of that easterly component to most stations across, I guess, east of I-25 here. And there's that northeasterly upslope that's helping to bring in some richer moisture in from the east. Actually, I just want to show you this. This is just our 12Z sounding from this morning, and you can see that 54 degree dew point at the surface. Even a little bit of cape on our morning sounding here at Denver, but you can see the moisture decreases very rapidly with height, and that moist layer is relatively shallow. So you would kind of expect that to mix out rather quickly unless we saw quite a bit of moisture advection from the east, which we did see a little bit of it, but I mean, it's not that rich moisture advection that we would like to see. We're really hoping to see any convection, I guess, here in the Denver area. So fast forward to just about now. This is about 55 minutes ago, and this is the 0Z Denver sounding. You can see we've mixed out a lot of that moisture. Yeah, dew points dropped, 17 degrees throughout the day due to moisture advection being relatively weak. And you can see that northeasterly upslope that probably did help bring in a little bit of moisture throughout the day, but it wasn't really enough to overcompensate that the diurnal mixing as we heat the ground and we generate turbulence within the boundary layer. So then we have a pretty deep mixed layer. Kind of hard to tell. I'd say it goes up to about 600 millibars here, and then we have a little bit of elevated cape. But you can see generally the flow is relatively weak, so we're really lacking any forcing mechanism to initiate any thunderstorms, especially where there's really not much moisture here in Denver. I already kind of went through the upper air pattern, but this is just from the WRAP, SBC mesoscale analysis. And yeah, talk about this ridge. Eventually it'll shift further east. And as this ridge does shift a little bit east, at least the ridge axis over Colorado, this will probably be our warmest day of the week, probably I'd say low to mid 90s here in Denver tomorrow. But then this ridge really starts to break down and we start to transition to more of a zonal flow pattern with even a little weak shortwave. Looks like it's actually up here in Canada at the time being, up in BC. Eventually that'll dig south and probably won't bring us much in the way of any rain, but maybe some cloud cover, and it might maybe move up our chances for a few showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, but really nothing too much to talk about in terms of widespread and beneficial precipitation here in Denver, northeastern Colorado. Yeah, this is just kind of just going to translate to what I said. So we have that kind of this trough, this weak shortwave trough, scoop by to our north on Wednesday. It's just a very shallow wave. Some jet enhancement there. This is 500 millibars, so jet's actually probably a little bit above that. But yeah, you can see, 60 knots at 250 millibars. So maybe that'll contribute to a greater chance of any showers and thunderstorms because the shear will be a little bit stronger. But then again, we are kind of in that, I guess, the right exit region of the jet streak, or jet streak, quote unquote. 85 knot jet streak there is what the 12Z GFS is depicting. So that's not really a favorable spot for upper level divergence that really drives the vertical motion on the synoptic scale. But then again, in the warm season, mesoscale features usually dominate anyways. But of course, we have to keep in note the larger scale pattern. There is a weak cold front that looks to move through sometime late tomorrow, Tuesday into Wednesday. And I'll actually just zoom in here, go into the Central Great Plains sector, and we'll pull up just surface theta E. I think it depicts fronts nicely, especially with moisture gradients. They depict fronts pretty well this time of year, at least from my experience. And you can see there's that wind shift kind of later in the day into tomorrow evening, and there's that front. It'll drop temperatures maybe 5 to 10 degrees for highs on Wednesday, and a slightly greater chance for any showers and thunderstorms, but really nothing too spectacular in the way of rain. And just looking at the overall height pattern, again, this is from the 12Z GFS, you can see that that shortwave trough kind of scoop by to our north. Again, it's very shallow and not very, just not very evident, essentially. You can see it's kind of over Montana and North Dakota there, but then we start to see that northwesterly flow dominate again, I guess zonal flow over Colorado, but then we start to see the ridge build back in as we head into the early part of next week. So we could be talking about some warmer temperatures. We start to see those heights rise. But anyways, just not really much in the way of weather going on here in Colorado, at least interesting weather. Just kind of a fairly average week, relatively low rain chances, which I guess is fairly common for late June. National Weather Service in Boulder actually posted an interesting graphic just showing how climatologically we usually just see kind of a lull in any precipitation before we start to transition into the southwest monsoon season here across the southwestern United States. So expect maybe next couple of weeks we'll start to see us transition to that pattern. But anyways, yeah, hopefully, I guess I'll do one of these maybe when I'm in Norman, Oklahoma next. Maybe I'll do one of these before then, but we'll see. Anyways, have a good night.